Trigger warning. Ghosts, ghouls, and gruesome stuff ahead. It's weird. It's dark. It's your kind of vibe. Welcome to Haunted and Homicidal, the podcast where true crime meets the paranormal. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Courtney. Every week we uncover the terrifying, the twisted, and the totally unexplainable. Lock your doors and grab your sage.
Because things are about to get haunted and homicidal. What?
It feels good.
Fuck no, it's cold in here. It's bullshit. Hey guys.
Hello, what's up?
I'm complaining because it's cold.
It is not cold. It feels
I am fucking freezing. My house is on 78.
Wear
and
a
it
jacket.
Is cold. I have one, but it's stinky. It smells like dog. So I haven't washed it because I forget. I don't have a different one.
Well, who's
I don't even have jackets. Like, I have a sweater, and then I have, like, that little half sweater thing.
So just wear that.
It smells like dog. I forget to wash it because it's in my office, so it's not with,
hoodies.
like, my other clothes. All right, so this week, I guess we're just going to go ahead and get into it because same story, different day, long week, blah, blah, blah. All we do is work. So, you know, it is what it is.
And then all these people are coming to the house.
Yeah, I have a house full today. It's okay. We're going to have pizza and wings. It's okay.
Pizza.
All right.
We
So
always have to go get the pizza.
yeah, like closer to dinner time. That way I can cook it.
Okay.
All right. So today we're going to talk about Jane Toppan. She was actually born Honora Kelly on March 31st of 1854. And I did not get her astrological sign.
Oh, you slagging?
What is I am.
You slagging?
I really am. March 31 sign. So she was an Aries, and she was born to Bridget Kelly and Peter Kelly. She was the daughter of Irish immigrants, the youngest of 4 girls. Her mother died of tuberculosis when she was very young. I think she was like 1 or 2. Her father was known as eccentric and an abusive alcoholic, nicknamed by those who knew him Kelly the Crack, as in crackpot. In later years, like many, many years down the road, he eventually sewed his eyes shut while working as a tailor.
What?
So he was actually crazy. Like legitimately crazy.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So in 1860, only a few years after his wife's death, Kelly surrendered his 2 youngest children, 8-year-old Delia Josephine and 6-year-old Honora, to the Boston Female Asylum, which was an orphanage for indigent female children, and he never saw them again.
Wow.
So, he kept the 2 oldest.
Rude.
Yeah. We don't find out what happens to, like, one
Yeah.
of them, but, like, the other one, like,
She probably died.
I don't know. Documents from the asylum noted that Delia and Honora were rescued from a very miserable home.
Yes.
No records exist of their experiences during their time in the asylum, but it is reported that Delia eventually became a sex worker, while their older sister Nellie, who was not committed to the orphanage, was eventually committed to an insane asylum.
Oh, so it passed on from the father to her. Okay.
Yeah, so it only talks about the 3 girls. It doesn't talk about the 4th. So we don't even
died.
We don't know her name. We don't know if she died. We don't know if she survived. We don't know if she went on to live a good life. It only talks about Delia, Honora, and Nellie. So in November of 1862, less than 2 years after being abandoned by her father, Honora was placed as an indentured servant in the home of Mrs. Ann C. Toppan of Lowell, Massachusetts. Like I said,
You Massachusetts.
last week, I thought my next one was Massachusetts, and it is. Though never formally adopted by the Toppans or Topans, I don't know. I'm probably going to pronounce it both ways throughout this because I don't care. So Honora took on the surname of her benefactors to distance herself from her former family and eventually became known as Jane Toppan or Toppan. The original family already had a daughter whose name was Elizabeth. And from all accounts, it seemed like she was on good terms with her. Like they got along pretty well. The Toppans passed her off as an Italian girl whose parents died at sea because of the stigma associated with the Irish.
But if she sent... But Italians weren't redheads.
I don't think she had red hair.
Oh.
Not
Okay.
all Irish people have red hair. She did well in school and had many friends, but became quote unquote unattractively fat.
What?
over time. That is what the newspaper article said, that she became unattractively fat
What the
in her
hell?
school years. So
Is there a picture? Is there a picture of her?
yeah, and she doesn't look horrible in my opinion, like at all. She also began telling outrageous lies, like her father sailed around the world, her sister married an English nobleman, her brother was a decorated war soldier at
Wait,
Gettysburg.
she didn't have a brother. Does she have a brother?
No,
Oh.
that's what I'm saying. They're outrageous lies.
Because no one she's not going to tell people, oh yeah, my sister's a stripper.
Right.
My other sister's in a insane
Crazy.
asylum, and my dad sewed his eyeball shut.
My dad's fucking psycho. My mom died. Yeah, but
She's not.
yeah, she's not bad. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand, but that's what in this day and age in the 1800s they called her unattractively fat. Anyway, she did claim that her brother, who didn't exist, was decorated at Gettysburg by Abraham Lincoln.
What?
Yeah. So she said that her brother was like honored by Abraham Lincoln, like he was a soldier, and so he was a
What the
decorated
fuck?
soldier, and yeah. So she just made up like all kind of lies. At 18, Jane graduated from Lowell High School, and the Toppans freed Jane of her indentured servitude and gave her $50.
Oh, nice.
But she decided to stay in the household as a servant. When Anne died, Elizabeth took over the house and continued to treat Jane as a servant, though with more kindness than her mother did. Elizabeth married a church deacon, Ormel Brigham. During the marriage, there were some issues that caused Jane to move out. So, like, they were arguing a lot, fighting, and she's like, I don't want to fucking deal with this.
Or he said, kick her out.
No, he did not.
Oh.
But it was, like, marital issues, so they just argued a lot,
okay.
financial issues, and she's like, I don't want to deal with this shit. I'm out.
Okay.
So, in 1887, at the age of 33, Jane Toppan began training to be a nurse at Cambridge Hospital. Unlike her early years, where she was described as brilliant and terrible, at the hospital she was well-liked, bright, and friendly, earning her the nickname of Jolly Jane.
That's always a nickname.
Yeah, she liked to gossip and celebrated the dismissal of students she didn't like. So she talked about people, and then like when people flunked out, she was like, ha ha, dumbass.
Wow.
Which, same, but she continued her outrageous lies into adulthood and claimed that the Tsar of Russia had offered her a nursing job. Many of her fellow students began to dislike her because of like the lies and just her behavior. So she started becoming less popular with her coworkers, but she did like really well with the patients. Once she became close with the patients, she picked her favorite ones, who were normally elderly and very sick. And by favorite, I mean the ones that she would kill.
Oh, no.
During her residency, Toppan used her patients as guinea pigs in experiments with morphine and atropine. She altered their prescribed dosages to see what it did to their nervous system.
What the fuck?
So she would give them too much, not enough. She would switch it out.
It's like my last dude who was a doctor, who was a nurse.
Yeah, just to kind of see what would happen. One patient, Amelia Finney, had an operation in 1887. Like, this is just one example.
Mm-hmm.
Afterward, she said that Jane gave her a dose of bitter medicine, causing her to lose consciousness. Jane climbed into the bed with her and was kissing her all over her face.
What the fuck?
But something eventually startled Jane, and she stopped, probably a nurse coming in or a doctor coming in to check on them.
What the hell?
The next morning, Finney decided it had all just been a dream. But 14 years later, when Jane was finally arrested, Finney realized that it was not a dream and that she had been assaulted while she was unconscious or in and out of consciousness in her bed after a surgery.
What the fuck?
It gets weirder. Just wait.
Oh, no.
However, she spent considerable time alone with patients, making up fake charts and medicating them to drift in and out of consciousness, which is what she did to Finney.
What?
Toppan was recommended for the prestigious Massachusetts General Hospital in 1889. There, she claimed several more victims before being fired the following year. She briefly returned to Cambridge, but was soon dismissed for administering opiates recklessly. Toppan then began a career as a private nurse and flourished despite the complaints of petty theft from her clients. So, like, she was going in, she was stealing shit, too.
Yeah.
So, like, back in this time, it's much different now. Like, what you've done in a hospital didn't follow you like it does if you're a nurse or a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Now it follows you.
Yeah.
You know, it's on your record. Then it was just kind of like slap on the wrist
Yeah.
and let them go so they could get a job anywhere. So that's why she was able to do what she did. when she did it.
Oh, the dude I'm talking about now is a nurse.
Oh, well, how do we manage?
I don't know, because
That's so
I'm just
crazy.
looking at him like, wait, that's my dude this week.
That's crazy. And also, like, your last week's story about the girl poisoning somebody just so she could take care of them, there's something in here like that, too. It's crazy. Outside of work, Jane guzzled beer, told dirty jokes, gossiped madly, and enjoyed turning her friends against each other. So she was not a good person.
She's a bitch.
She was not a good person.
No.
Jane was earning up to $25 a week when most others were only earning about $5 a week.
What
So
the hell?
she was just liked that much. So I don't know, was just making a lot of money.
The fact that people liked her.
Yeah. Toppan began her poisoning spree in earnest in 1895 by killing her landlord, Israel Dunham, and his wife.
Well, damn.
She befriended the elderly couple and later explained that they had, quote unquote, gotten feeble and fussy and old and cranky. Around this time, her colleagues in nursing school remember her saying that there was no use in keeping old people alive.
What?
So, like, kind of like a red flag, but not a major red flag, right?
Okay.
Right. So, in 1899, 70-year-old Mary McClear fell ill on a visit to Cambridge and was put in Jane's care. She died.
Of course.
She killed a close friend with strychnine so she could take her job as a dining hall matron at St. John's Theological School in Cambridge. She got the job, but it didn't last. The administration couldn't ignore the complaints of her incompetence and theft. So she was just stealing left and right.
Yeah.
And they were like, absolutely the fuck not. Get out. Whereas the other hospital was like, whatever, it's okay. She killed her foster sister Elizabeth with a dose of strychnine.
Wait, I thought they were friends.
Elizabeth often invited, she killed her friend, her close friend.
Well, no, but
they
Damn.
were friends, but she also killed like an actual friend.
Damn.
She's crazy. Elizabeth often invited Jane to come visit and stay in the house she grew up in because Elizabeth still lived at the family home. But sometimes Jane just showed up without an invitation. Jane was actually vacationing in Buzzards Bay in the summer of 1899 when she targeted Elizabeth. Elizabeth was complaining of depression, and Jane invited her down to the Cape. Like, hey, come down. We'll have a girls' day. You relax. You'll feel better. You'll get away from the bullshit at home. So one day she took Elizabeth to the beach for a picnic of corned beef, taffy, and mineral water laced with strychnine.
What the hell?
She said, I held her in my arms and watched with delight as she gasped her life out.
What the fuck?
Held her in her arms and watched her die.
With the light. What the fuck?
Yep.
What the
On the beach in public. I don't understand.
Must have been a private beach.
Maybe. Jane then insinuated herself into the household because she wanted to marry Elizabeth's husband.
You motherfucking...
Within 3 days, she'd killed the housekeeper,
What the fuck?
Edna Bannister. She took over for Bannister to show Ormel her skills, but he made it clear he didn't want her as a housekeeper or as a wife.
Smart man. Good job.
She decided to win his love by poisoning him, then nursing him back to health.
Bitch, that ain't gonna work.
Like I said,
That's not gonna work.
it's just like your last story.
Not gonna work.
When that didn't work, she threatened to tell everyone that he'd gotten her pregnant, so he got pissed off and was like, get the fuck out of my house.
Good job, dude. Good job.
Yeah, after that, I guess she was just very upset, but she did try to commit suicide with an overdose of morphine, but failed and went to the hospital. Upon her release, she visited an old friend, Sarah Nichols, who lived with her brother in Amherst. Didn't kill them, as far as I know. They're not listed as victims.
Yeah.
In 1901, Toppan moved in with the elderly Alden Davis and his family in Catamet to care for him after the death of his wife, Maddie, who Toppan murdered.
What?
Within weeks, she killed Davis, his sister Edna, and 2 of his daughters, Minnie and Genevieve.
What the hell?
After the death, a state detective began following Jane,
Good job,
suspecting her in the death of the entire Davis family. Jane had rented a cottage in Bourne from the Davis family, but she hadn't kept up with rent. So this is kind of like the leading up to the murders.
Okay.
So she'd rented a cottage from the Davis family, but she didn't keep up with the rent. So Alden's wife, Maddie, went to Cambridge to collect, but Jane killed her with a cocktail of morphine and atropine. So she was like, where's my money? And she's like, let's have a drink first. Then she moved in with the elderly Alden to take care of him. Like, concerned.
Yeah.
Oh, you need help now. I'm so sorry about your wife.
I'm
a nurse.
Yeah.
I'm a nurse. So,
Bitch.
Yeah.
Not trust your ass.
Minnie's father-in-law suspected the sudden death of an entire healthy family had to do with foul play, and he was not wrong.
No.
He consulted a toxicologist and got a judge to order Minnie's body exhumed. Investigation revealed she died of morphine and atropine poisoning. So, definite foul play. On October 29th of 1901, she was finally arrested. By 1902, she had confessed to 31 murders, perhaps as many as 100.
What the fuck?
During the trial, she claimed she started her killing spree because a boyfriend dumped her when she was 16.
What the fuck? What?
A Lowell office worker gave her a promise ring, but moved to Holyoke, Massachusetts, and fell in love with someone else. She stated, quote, "Had I been a married woman, I probably would not have killed all of those people. And I would have my husband, my children, and my home to take up my mind." So she's
bullshit.
Victim blaming as usual.
Bullshit.
The trial only took 8 hours.
Don't. Quick.
In the Barnstable County Courthouse. Soon after the trial, one of William Randolph Hearst's newspapers, the New York Journal, printed what was purported to be Toppan's confession to her lawyer, claiming that she had killed more than 31 people and that she wanted the jury to find her sane so she could eventually have the chance at being released.
Bitch, they're gonna release your ass. No.
Toppan insisted upon her own sanity in court, claiming that she could not be insane if she knew what she was doing and knew it was wrong, but nonetheless she was declared insane and committed. She's not wrong. She knew what she was doing and she knew it was wrong. She did it for shits and giggles, not because she was, obviously when you do something like that, there's something not right in your brain. You are crazy.
I mean, look at her dad. Apparently went to all of them.
Right. But in the insanity plea is usually they were not in the right state of mind. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't realize it was wrong. They didn't understand the consequences. She understood all of that.
Yeah.
But they declared her crazy anyway. And she was committed.
Good, because she don't need to be out.
So again, on June 23rd of 1902, in the same courthouse as the trial, after just 27 minutes of deliberation, the jury stated that they found her not guilty by reason of insanity, and she was committed for life to the Taunton Insane Hospital. Might be the same one that her sister was committed to. We don't know. We don't get any information about that. Some attendants of the hospital remember her calling them into her room and smiling, saying, quote, "Get some morphine, dearie, and we'll go out in the ward. You and I will have a lot of fun seeing them die."
And she wonders why they locked her up. Dumbass.
Obviously crazy, but she also knew what she was doing. She knew what the fuck she was doing. But
they can know what they're doing, but still be fucking crazy.
Yeah, for sure. She died there on August 17th of 1938 at the age of 81. Sorry that one was so short, but it was just like kind of like a roller coaster on that one.
What the hell?
Yeah. It was kind of crazy, that one, but that's a short one for me because she's got a pretty long one.
Yeah, mine's
today,
a little longer.
so.
Mine's also a nurse. Which is funny.
Massachusetts?
No.
Oh, okay.
Hi, baby girl.
So I have Charles Cullen.
Okay.
Not any related to Edward Cullen and the vampires in Twilight.
Oh, Carlisle. I was like, wasn't his name Charles? But it's Carlisle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bella's dad was Charles.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was working as a nurse, murdered dozens, possibly hundreds of patients during a 16-year career spanning several New Jersey and Pennsylvania medical centers until finally being arrested in 2003.
Oh, so this is like recent. Mine was in the 1800s.
Yeah, mine's 2000s. Mine's recent.
Okay.
So he confessed to committing as many as 40 murders, at least 29 of which have been confirmed.
Oh, wow.
Though interviews with police, psychiatrists, and journalists suggest he committed many more. And researchers involved in the case believe he may have murdered as many as 400 people. But most murders cannot be confirmed due to lack of records, because a lot of places either like lost a lot of records or like he would go in and like
alter them. Yeah.
Okay, so Charles Cullen was born on February 22nd, 1960. He was a Pisces, in West Orange, New Jersey. Edmund, his father, who was a bus driver, like my other dude, died on September 17th, like Ridgway's father, died on September 17th, 1960, when Charles was only 7 months old.
Okay, so he didn't have time to like corrupt him and like
no.
complain about sex workers. Okay.
Described his childhood as miserable and claimed to have been constantly bullied by his schoolmates and sister's boyfriend.
Oh.
At age 9, he made the first of many suicide attempts by drinking chemicals from a chemistry set.
At 9? Oh my God, that hurts my heart.
Yep. His mother, Florence Cullen, who used to be Ward, was born in England and immigrated to the U.S. after World War II as a war bride, which means women who married military personnel from other countries in times of war or during military occupations.
Mm-hmm.
She was killed in a car accident on December 6, 1977. Cullen was 18 years old and was in his senior year of high school when it happened.
Wait, who died when he was 2?
His dad, when he was 7 months old.
Or 7, yeah, okay. Dang. The first 18 years of life, he lost both of his parents. Oh.
Yep.
How sad.
He recalled his mother's death as being devastating and described being upset that the hospital did not immediately inform him of her death and cremated her body instead of returning it.
Bruh. Yeah, I'd be kind of fucking pissed off about that too.
If that really happened, though.
Well, yeah, but I would be real fucking pissed off about that too.
And then following year, Cullen graduated from West Orange High School and enlisted in the United States Navy. He served aboard the submarine USS Woodrow Wilson. He successfully passed basic training and the psychological examinations required for submarine crews, who were expected to spend as long as 2 months at a time being submerged in a cramped vessel.
No, thank you.
He rose to the rank of petty officer.
Don't laugh at me. That's like going in a tunnel. No, thank you.
I know. So, yeah, you definitely won't like that.
No, I will not be joining the Navy. Thank you.
He rose to the rank of petty officer, second class, as part of the team that operated the vessel's Poseidon missiles.
Oh, he's petty for sure if he's blaming the hospital for his mom's death, and this is why he does what he does.
Yeah. Did not fit in during his time in the Navy and was hazed and, like his school days, bullied by his fellow crewmen. A year into his service, a leading petty officer discovered him seated at the missiles control, wearing a surgical mask, gloves, and scrubs, rather than his uniform.
What the fuck?
Yeah. He was disciplined for that action, but never explained why he dressed that way. They reassigned him to a lower pressure job on the supply ship USS Canopus. What?
What? Canopus?
Yeah, Canopus.
Okay.
So we're going with Canopus. If I say it wrong, I apologize.
Canopus?
Canopus.
I mean, I guess that'd be right.
And of course, attempted suicide.
Again?
Again, he does it a lot.
Oh.
And was committed to the Navy psychiatric ward several times over the subsequent few years. He received a medical discharge from the Navy in 1984 for undisclosed reasons.
Probably because he kept trying to kill himself.
Yeah, he does it a few times. Shortly after he was discharged, he enrolled at Mountainside Hospital's nursing school in Montclair, New Jersey. He was elected president of his nursing class. He graduated in 1987 and started work at the burn unit of St. Barnabas Medical Center in Livingston, New Jersey.
St. Barnabas.
He met and married Adrienne Baum in 1987, and they were married until 1993.
Okay, so a short relationship, but
yeah.
Why?
What? You'll find out why.
Oh.
my lips got a little
dry. You got a drink right there. Just drink it.
Bitch. So their first daughter was born later that year of 1987.
Okay.
And then his wife became increasingly disturbed at his unusual behavior and his abuse of the family dogs.
Ew, no, ma'am.
And then 1993, she filed a restraining order against him based on her fear that he might endanger her and their 2 children.
What was he doing?
So she claimed that he spiked people's drinks with lighter fluid, burned his daughter's books, and left his daughters with a babysitter for a week.
What? Where was she?
Probably she would go visit family or something.
Never mind. I don't want to know what he was doing to the dogs. I don't want to know. It
never said.
I don't want to know.
It never said what he did to the dogs.
Good, but I don't want to know.
I don't either. That's why I was not looking up that part.
But let me.
If you want to know, you can find it.
No,
but
thank you.
We're not.
I'm not doing it because let me tell you something. If I find out someone's doing anything to any of my animals, you're gonna have to call the coroner.
Old Yeller ruined me with animal deaths.
I mean,
or anything that involves animals abusing.
Old
I
Yeller was like a
I
different
ball-
situation.
I know, but
I'll
ever
take
since-
them to
ever since then,
yeah, for sure.
like any
yeah
videos,
I hate animals in movies, like when they're tortured.
I
or,
know,
like
I cover
they're
like,
dead. I can't do it.
the new Conjuring movie.
Oh no,
The dog gets like eaten against the wall. Spoiler alert.
No.
And like he lives.
Yeah,
He lives.
but
But I'm literally
still.
covering my ears the entire time because I can't listen to that part. I'm like, no. I'm like, I have my eyeballs closed and my ears covered. I'm like, I can't.
No, I mean, like, and if you have to put an animal down, take them to the vet.
So of course he denied these claims,
Why would he not?
saying that his wife was exaggerating. And she continued to insist that Cullen was mentally ill.
What was it that it was called when we were doing the sanatorium? Invisible female problems or whatever
Yeah,
it was. Like, what
yeah.
was it called?
Invisible. It was invisible. Shit. I'll have to look it up.
Oh, yeah. But it's basically just women being crazy on
Yeah.
their period or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
fuck you.
So the first murders, to which he later confessed, occurred at St. Barnabas.
First murder.
So, June 11th, 1988, he administered a lethal overdose of intravenous medication to a patient.
Okay. Did it say what he put in there? No. Okay. It was just through the IV. Okay.
He eventually admitted to killing several other patients at St. Barnabas, including an AIDS patient who died after Cullen gave him an overdose of insulin. January 1992, he left St. Barnabas when the hospital authorities began investigating the contaminated IV bags.
Yeah. He's like, well, I'm out.
I'm out. It later determined that Cullen had most likely been responsible, resulting in dozens of patient deaths at the hospital. So, a month after leaving St. Barnabas, he took a job at Warren Hospital in Phillipsburg, New Jersey. There, he murdered 3 elderly women with overdoses of the heart medication digoxin.
Sure.
His final victim said that a sneaky male nurse had injected her as she slept.
Okay. Correct.
Family members and healthcare providers at the hospital dismissed her comments as unfounded.
It was founded.
He moved into a basement apartment in Phillipsburg after continuous divorce from his wife. Contentious divorce
I
from
was
his
like,
wife.
a continuous divorce?
Contentious. I forgot the N.
I was like,
Contentious divorce from his wife.
what does that mean? Like they are getting a divorce, but then they decided not to, but then they went back for a divorce. What is a continuous divorce?
He later claimed that he had wanted to quit nursing in 1993, but the court ordered child support payments, forced him to continue working because he could not afford it otherwise.
Yeah, that's how that works.
So, March 1993, he broke into a coworker's home while she and her young son slept, but left without waking them.
Ew.
And then he began stalking the woman who filed a police report against him.
Good.
He pleaded guilty to trespassing and received 1 year probation. And the day after his arrest, he made another suicide attempt.
So with the stalking, I feel like his license should have been revoked because he is clearly unstable.
Yes.
But it wasn't. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
And then he took 2 months off from work and was treated for depression in 2 psychiatric facilities.
It took 2.
Took 2.
It took 2.
Still did not work. He attempted suicide twice more by the end of the year.
Bruh.
I told you, he does it a lot.
Like, I hate to say it, but I kind of wish like one of them would have taken.
I know. After how many he did, you would think one of them would have taken.
I would have hoped.
That
for a better
September,
outcome.
a 91-year-old cancer patient at Warren Hospital reported that Cullen, who was not her assigned nurse, had come into her room and injected her with a needle. She died the next day.
So she was able to make the report before she passed.
I guess, because she felt...
I mean, it would have to.
yeah,
if, if she made the report and then she died the next day, she'd have to like be like, "Hey, this
I don't feel
dude-"
right.
Yeah.
Her son protested that her death was not natural, and the hospital administered a lie detector test to Cullen and several other nurses, which he passed. And he continued to work at Warren until the following spring.
See, and then that's why lie detector tests are not admissible in court. Because obviously the dude's guilty. We know now. But he passed the lie detector test. So, yeah.
And then he began a 3-year stint in the intensive care unit at Hunterdon Medical Center in Flemington, New Jersey. He claimed he did not harm anyone during the first 2 years at Hunterdon.
Oh.
And hospital records for that period had been destroyed at the time of his arrest in 2003, so they couldn't prove if that was true or
Why
not.
were they destroyed?
I guess like fire, like flood, like it didn't say like what happened, but
I mean, shouldn't that have been digitized by 2003?
Well, that was when when they arrested him in 2003 when they went to go find.
Oh, okay. Okay, I don't like that. Something feels shady. Or maybe the hospital destroyed them because it did prove that these people who were dying didn't have a legitimate cause. So
He admitted to murdering 5 patients between January and September 1996, again with overdoses of digoxin.
Mm-hmm.
Found work at Morristown Memorial Hospital, but was soon fired for poor performance. He remained unemployed for 6 months and stopped making child support payments.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you don't have a job.
After seeking treatment for depression in the Warren Hospital emergency room, he was briefly admitted to a psychiatric facility.
Again, so that's 3.
And then February 1998, he was hired by the Liberty Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Allentown, Pennsylvania, where he staffed a ward of respirator-dependent patients.
Jesus.
He was accused of giving patients drugs at unscheduled times, fired after being seen entering a patient's room with syringes in his hand, and a counter that left the patient with a broken arm.
What the fuck?
Caused the patient's death at Liberty, which he blamed on another nurse. And then after Liberty, he was employed at Easton Hospital from November 1998 to March 1999. December 30th, 1998, he murdered another patient. Coroner's blood test showed lethal amounts of digoxin in the patient's blood, but an internal investigation within Easton was inconclusive.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Evidence did not point to him as the murderer.
Okay.
Even with his history of mental instability and the number of deaths during his employment at various hospitals, he continued to find work because of national shortage of nurses.
Fucking insane.
There was also no reporting mechanism yet existing to identify nurses with mental health or employment problems.
Yeah, and that's like the biggest thing. Glad they implemented that, because what the fuck?
Liability concerns made hospitals unwilling to take significant action against Cullen.
Told you.
Yep. And then March 1999, he took a job at the burn unit of Allentown's Lehigh Valley Hospital, Cedar Crest.
So another burn unit, like it's where he started the first time at Barnabas.
He murdered one patient and attempted to murder another. And then a month later, he voluntarily resigned from Lehigh and took a job working in the cardiac care unit at St. Luke's Hospital in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
In 3 years, he murdered at least 5 patients and is known to have attempted to kill 2 more.
Are you doing a cheer?
No, there's a fucking bug.
Oh, that little fly.
Yes. January 11th, 2000, he attempted suicide again by lighting a charcoal grill in his bathtub.
What?
And hoped to succumb to carbon monoxide poisoning.
What?
Yes. Neighbors smelled smoke and called the fire department and police. He said, I'm going to grill in my bathtub and die.
Did he put his wiener on it?
He should have. He really could have died.
Like, why didn't he just, like, drop a hair dryer that was on in the bathtub? Like, a grill? What the fuck?
Grill. Well, he didn't have a girl, so he wouldn't have a hair dryer.
He could buy one.
That's true.
That is more...
But apparently he had a girl, so he was like, well, let me just use the grill.
Okay, that's a new one. Everybody's here now. Like that's a new one for me. Okay, death by grill in the bathtub.
Yep.
Okay.
And then he was taken to a hospital in a psychiatric facility, but returned home the following day.
Okay.
No one suspected he was murdering patients at St. Luke until a coworker found medication vials in a disposal bin.
Okay.
The drugs were not valuable outside the hospital, and since they were not used in recreational drug use, the theft was highly unusual. Investigation showed that Cullen had taken it. So they offered a deal to resign and be given a neutral recommendation or to be fired.
Mm-hmm.
He resigned and was escorted out in June 2002. And then 7 of his coworkers at St. Luke's later alerted the Lehigh County District Attorney of their suspicions that he had used drugs to kill patients.
Yeah.
They never looked into his past, and the case was dropped 9 months later for lack of evidence. And then September 2002, he began working in the critical care unit of the Somerset Medical Center in Somerville, New Jersey. He began dating a local woman around then, but depression worsened. You want to go side, Mish?
It's Matthew. She doesn't like Matthew.
No. He had killed...
no, I don't.
He had killed at least 13 patients and attempted to kill at least 1 more by mid-2003 using digoxin, insulin, and epinephrine. June 18, 2003, he had unsuccessfully attempted to murder patient Philip Gregor, who was later discharged and died 6 months later of natural causes. Somerset started to notice his wrongdoing when he accessed the rooms and computerized drug dispensing cabinets showed that he was requesting medications that his patients had not been prescribed.
Yeah.
And because drug requests included many orders that were immediately canceled and many requests within minutes of one another.
Oh, wow. So he was doing like back to back for different patients. Not suspicious at all, dude.
Yep. And then, so July 2003, Executive Director of the New Jersey Poison Information and Education System warned Somerset officials that at least 4 suspicious overdoses indicated the possibility that an employee was killing patients. And then by October, he had killed at least 5 more patients and attempted to kill another. And then when a patient in Somerset died of low blood sugar in October 2003, the hospital alerted the New Jersey State Police. The patient was Cullen's final victim. So state officials castigated the hospital for failing to report a non-fatal insulin overdose administered by Cullen in August. They did an investigation into his employment history and revealed past suspicions about his involvement in patient deaths. Somerset fired him on October 31st, 2003, ostensibly for lying on his job application.
So he was injecting people with insulin.
And dioxin.
Right, the heart patients, but the heart patients who weren't on that, he was doing it with insulin because insulin is a naturally occurring thing in the body.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So he was arrested at a restaurant on December 12th, 2003, and charged with 1 count of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. December 14th, he admitted to homicide detectives Dan Baldwin and Tim Braun that he had murdered Florian Gall and had attempted to murder Jin Kyung Han, both of whom were patients at Somerset. He also told detectives that he had murdered...
It's okay, no roo-roos.
...as many as 40 patients over his 16-year career.
Jesus.
April 2004, he pleaded guilty before Judge Paul W. Armstrong in a New Jersey court to killing 13 patients and to attempting to kill 2 others by lethal injection while he was employed at Somerset. And then part of his plea agreement, he promised to cooperate with authorities if they did not seek the death penalty for his crimes. Months later, he pleaded guilty to the murder of 3 more patients in New Jersey. And then November 2004, he pleaded guilty to an Allentown court to killing 6 patients and trying to kill 3 others.
Wow.
He repeatedly interrupted the proceedings by taunting the judge with the chant, "Your Honor, you need to step down."
What?
He was ordered to be restrained and gagged.
The fuck?
March 2nd, 2003, he was sentenced to 18 consecutive life sentences by Judge Armstrong in New Jersey. He was not eligible for parole until June 10th, 2403.
I feel like he'll be dead by then.
Yes.
I'll be dead by then.
He's being held at New Jersey State Prison currently in Trenton, New Jersey.
Okay.
March 10, 2006, he was brought to the courtroom of Lehigh County, Pennsylvania. Presiding judge, Judge William H. Plant, for a sentence hearing. He was upset with the judge. So this is when he was telling the judge. Kept repeating, "Your Honor, you need to step down," for 30 minutes until Platt had Cullen gagged with cloth and duct tape. He said, "Shut the fuck up."
That judge said, "You know what? I'm fucking done with you, bitch." That is crazy.
Even after being gagged, Cullen continued to try to repeat the phrase. And then in that hearing, he gave Cullen an additional 6 life sentences.
You stepped down, Your Honor. You stepped down, Your Honor. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
He said, "You get 6 more life sentences."
Put a plastic bag over his head. He'll shut up eventually.
Yep. He will never be eligible for parole due to Pennsylvania law, where a life sentence comes without the possibility of parole.
Oh, nice.
Part of his plea agreement, he has been working with law enforcement officials to identify additional victims.
Okay.
So, his motives. He stated that he had overdosed patients to spare them from being seen going into cardiac arrest or respiratory arrest and being listed as a code blue emergency, told detectives that he could not bear to witness or to hear about attempts at saving a victim's life. He also stated that he gave patients overdoses so that he could end their suffering and prevent hospital personnel from dehumanizing them. Not all of his victims were terminal patients. And like Gall, they had been expected to recover before he killed them. And then nurse Lynn Tester described many of the victims as people on the mend in a police interview.
You see this face?
Yeah, I see the face.
Yeah.
I see the face.
This is you're a fucking liar. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I see the face. And then investigators stated that he may have caused patients to suffer but did not realize it, which contradicted his claims of wanting to save patients.
Oh, yeah?
He told investigators that although he often observed patients suffering for several days, the decision to commit each murder was performed on impulse. He also told detectives in December 2003 that he lived most of his life in a fog and that he had blacked out memories of murdering most of his victims. He could not recall how many he killed or why he had chosen them. In some cases, he adamantly denied committing any murders at a given facility, and after reviewing medical records, he admitted that he had been involved in patient deaths.
I didn't do anything. Okay, well, here are the records. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You caught me.
I thought you caught me. I did it.
Oh, my God.
All right. So, because of what he did,
Mm-hmm.
they did some legal shit.
Yeah.
So, he moved from facility to facility undetected, mainly because of lack of requirements to report suspicious behavior by medical workers and inadequate legal obligations on employers.
Yep.
So, New Jersey and Pennsylvania, like most other states, required healthcare facilities to report suspicious deaths only in the most egregious cases, and the penalties for failing to report incidents were minor. Also, many states did not give investigators the legal authority to discover workers' previous employers. The employers feared investigating incidents or giving a bad employment reference for fear of such actions triggering lawsuits.
That's what I said earlier. They didn't want to get involved because then the patients' families would be like, I'm suing y'all because this is a wrongful death suit. Yeah.
According to detectives in Cullen, several hospitals suspected him of harming or killing patients, but they failed to take appropriate legal actions. So, after his criminal conviction, many of the hospitals where he worked were sued by the families of his victims.
And that is exactly why those records and documents went missing. Like I said earlier. Because I know this shit. Like, I don't know this story particularly, but that would...
Yeah.
Legally, I know this shit.
The files and settlements against the New Jersey hospitals, all of which were settled out of court, are sealed.
Really?
Mm-hmm. There were some cases where individual workers took it upon themselves and formally tried to prevent Cullen from being hired or to have him terminated.
Nice.
Some contacted nearby hospitals in secret or quietly spoke to their superiors to alert them.
Oh, good. I love that for them.
When he
didn't work, but
No.
I love that for them.
Yes, it didn't work. So when he took the job at Sacred Heart Hospital in Allentown in June 2001, a nurse who had heard rumors about him at Easton advised her coworkers. The nurses threatened to quit en masse if he was not immediately dismissed, which he was.
Perfect. Because they're like, look, you got all of us or you have him.
Yeah.
Take your pick.
Yeah, they're like, either we quit or
He goes.
he goes.
Good. Good for them. Good for fucking them for standing up for that. Yes.
So, prompted by his case, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and 35 other states adopted new laws which encourage employers to give honest appraisals of workers' job performance and provide legal protections for reporting medical errors.
Beautiful.
The New Jersey laws, in particular, formed the model other states would follow.
Good. Good, good, good. Love to hear it.
Firstly, the 2004 Patient Safety Act increased hospitals' responsibility for reporting serious preventable adverse events.
Do you have lice again?
No. The thing, the
I know,
headphones,
it
the
makes
headphones
you
on my
itchy.
head itch after a
Yeah.
while. The 2005 Enhancement Act, a supplement to the Patient Safety Act, required hospitals to report certain details on their employees to the New Jersey Division of Consumer Affairs and mandated that complaints and disciplinary records relating to patient care be kept for at least 7 years.
Okay.
Popular culture.
Okay.
So, 2008 direct-to-video film Killer Nurse, written and directed by Uli Lommel, was loosely based on Cullen. CBS New Magazine show 60 Minutes featured an interview with Cullen, conducted by correspondent Steve Croft in an episode which originally aired on April 28th, 2013, which was titled Angel of Death.
Yeah, I think I saw that one.
It was the first time he's spoken publicly of his crimes or of his motives for committing them. And then June 25th, 2020, the British television channel Sky Crime aired the documentary Charles Cullen, Killing for Kindness, produced by Woodcut Media Story. And then the film Good Nurse, adapted from Charles Graeber's nonfiction book, The Good Nurse, A True Story of Medicine, Madness, and Murder, was released on Netflix on October 26, 2022, which is Eddie Redmayne portrays Cullen, and Jessica Chastain portrays coworker Amy Loughran, who was a nurse who helped implicate Cullen and assisted detectives by talking with Cullen after work hours while she wore a wire. And then Capturing the Killer Nurse is a 2022 documentary film about him. Includes interviews with Cullen, his coworkers, detectives, and Amy, who was the nurse who assisted detectives. And then there are interviews with family members of the victims. There are interviews with family members of the victims, true crime author Charles Graeber, and audio from Cullen himself. It began streaming on Netflix on November 11th, 2022. A 2023 episode of the podcast Criminal is an interview with Amy and covers the story, which we'll post the link to the interview about from Amy's interview about what happened.
Remind me to do that because I usually forget to post the links when we have the links.
Because I wasn't putting it because it was so freaking long.
Oh yeah.
But pretty much, Amy pretty much said if you don't because she knew when she they were best friends kind of.
Yeah.
So, that was they were really close friends. So when she found it was him, she was devastated. And so in order to get him to confess, that she made it seem like they were going to implicate her.
Oh, okay.
And that's,
yeah.
Yeah.
Or she's like, oh my God, they think it's me. They think I'm the one doing it. I need, what do I do?
Yeah. So that's when, in order to protect her and
he confessed.
He confessed.
Well, I mean, at least he did something good. I'm surprised he didn't just let somebody else take the fall,
Yeah. But they were super close.
That's so sad. I mean, the whole situation sucks. I don't know. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's it on
Cullen. Oh, I was like...
No, that's not that. Yeah, that was it on Cullen.
So he's currently still imprisoned?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good. Hopefully he's not killing anybody in prison. So I guess that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for listening. We still appreciate the support. Check us out on patreon.com. We still have tiers and stuff available.
Appreciate.
Yeah. We're waiting for people to join the tiers so we can start sending out all of our goodies. It's going to be Patreon.
We're going to take pictures of our shirts and the tumblers.
I took a picture of my shirt when I was wearing it yesterday and my tumbler.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. I do have pictures. But it's going to be patreon.com/haunted and homicidal. As always, you can see the pictures of the stories we're talking about on Facebook, facebook.com/haunted and homicidal. And you can send us suggestions, comments, your own little stories or whatever at hauntedandhomicidal@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you guys. I don't think anybody's emailed us yet, which makes me sad. But that is it for this week, guys. Obviously, tune in next week because we do this every Monday and Thursday. Okay?
Well, tune in Thursday for the paranormal for this week.
Oh, yeah.
This is only Monday's episode, but we just...
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys next time. Okay, bye.
Bye.